Aloha traders, Cifi here with Stock Traders Talk Radio, doing a chart update on GTGP, Global Technologies Group. My first chart I did was back in April after Brother Choi Funds alerted me on it and said, check this one out, this is a beast. And he was right. It was at 16 cents the first time I did that chart analysis on it. And the main thing we stressed was looking for the breakout on the ascending triangle and holding the 200-day moving average as support. And it did both, and it beasted. So let's go and look at the chart now. We're going to start with a weekly chart here, and let's point out a few key things. The first thing we want to look at here is let's look at that ascending triangle that broke out. So draw some lines here, and it's one of our favorite patterns because when they break out, they go boom. And you can see that there, what she did. Just exploded to the upside. Another thing we talked about on the old chart was the moving averages moving up and getting on top of each other, the right way, crossing through that 200 MA. Well, now you're actually going to have that 100 MA also cross through the 200 MA, and the 20 MA has just been a beast bouncing off of that. And one thing, here's a pattern that we always like to look at. If you look at right here, this was a great breakout opportunity. You can see those three. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and call that 3 white soldiers. And 3 white soldiers is a candlestick formation, which is bullish. And, one might argue that ain't 3 white soldiers. I'm going to go ahead and say it is because I just say it is. And look what she did. She went ape shit. So, yeah, congratulations on that. Anybody that identified that pattern and ran with it. So another thing here, you can see she's just been holding. She came down, she held that 50 MA overlay on the accumulation distribution, and the positive divergence just kept going in the RSI. On a weekly, she's up in that 90.75, so she's definitely in beast mode. And you can see here on the PPO when she finally crossed through that 50 MA overlay, that coincided with our breakout. That's why we put it on there, and that's why we look at weeklies. And also on the slow stow, you can see when she came down and held that 50 MA overlay. Kaboom! That was liftoff time. All these things coincide with each other. That's why we look at them, and it works. Also, look at that beautiful volume you got going on there. So, love volume. If it keeps going higher with the price per share, that's very bullish. Now, one thing I do want to caution on is the prior run-ups that this stock has had has been about 4 to 5 week long runs. We are currently, you can see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks off the bottom. So this has been a very extended run. So I'm going to, just like you can see here, on that pattern there, one could call that last week a long-legged doji. And that can either be a bullish reversal or a bearish reversal or a continuation. And that was obviously a continuation because you can see this week it came right down to where it closed, found that support, and went higher. And we're sitting at 92.4 now. So it's looking sweet. So you can use this weekly chart as support and resistance as well. Let's come on in and check out a daily chart on it. And we also here, before we do that, let's flip over here. You can see my brother Haas on our morning show that we do every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live in the auditorium, where we do stock spotlights and catch the winners, the runners off the boom scanner, and break down the news. Just always looking for the next multi-bagger. But Haas and Bridge Jumper, our special guest, they did it on July 9th. And let's go over here to the daily chart, and you can see on July 9th, that was a nice entry right there. Had a little bit of a pullback that day, but check it out. We were looking for the breakout, and she did. So when she got back above that 22 cents, she just took off. And just like we said on the weekly, holding that 20 MA. So you can see she came down and touched that 20 MA, went down to 36. The very next day, she came down and kissed again. Beautiful reversal there. If it would have closed up at the high day, I would have called that a hammer. So, so you could still call it a hammer, half diamond dozen or another or whatever that saying is. I suck. But yeah, and look at that volume, same thing, just beast mode. And again, finding that support on the RSI, getting back above it, running up in, we love the 77, look at that, 77.77, sweet. Holding, looking good. Same with that accumulation distribution. And I throw the moving average, a 10-day moving average on that, because when she breaks to that on the downside and can't get back up over a few days, that's a good sign that she's broke. So keep your eyes on that. The PPO looking mean, and look when she broke through that 50 MA overlay, that was pretty much go time. And then when she found support, that was confirmation. And on the slow stow on the daily, I threw a 100 MA overlay on here, and the reason being is you can see when she broke through it, that was a bullish sign, and then she ran up, and then she found support on it twice, giving you the confirmation that she was going higher. So we got all this stuff going on. We've got plenty of candles below us for to refer to for support. You've got your 20 MA below you. You've got all your moving averages below you. That's what we like to see. That 67.5, obviously that's key, a pullback to there. Now, me as a trader, do I hold all the way to 67.5, hoping that she goes higher if I'm up here at 92? No, I'd have a tighter stop, but that's just me. Anyways, congratulations, GTGP traders. Looking solid. And don't forget, healthy stocks don't go straight up. They do the stairs. Aloha.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.